so if you've never been here before, I make videos on my tattoo apprenticeship. I'm no longer a tattoo apprentice, but I still kind of talk about my story because I get a lot of questions on how to become a tattoo apprentice. So yeah, I thought it would be fun to read my blog post that I recently made for my website. It talks a little bit about how I got to be a tattoo apprentice. So if you want to, you can check that out, but I'm just gonna tell you right now so you can just stay and hang out and stuff. One of my first videos was actually me talking about how I got my tattoo apprenticeship. I just really didn't like the quality of it. It was one of my first videos, so I feel like it was just really awkward. I didn't know how to control lighting. For some reason, I thought it would be a good idea to like film in direct lighting, like not even during golden hour or anything. I was filming outside with like the light just shining into my eyes, so I was like squinting. It was not good. It wasn't good. And as informative as it was, I really just didn't like it. I tried to watch it again. I'm like, I'm so cringy. So this is the better version of that video. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. And if you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, okay, let's go. Okay, so my story begins as early as I can remember. I remember at one point I was really passionate about drawing on everything, and that also includes my parents' walls, apparently. We had like plain white walls, and I was like, you know what would be cool? Like not having plain white walls. And yeah, just colored all over them. Yeah, with marker, I think. It's fine. It's fine. I think my huge passion for art and photography began in elementary school, but specifically like grades 7 and 8, because we got to kind of explore art a little bit more. And that's when I started taking it seriously. I was not any good at it back then, but I was like trying to draw more and stuff, so yeah. And then I got my very first camera in, I think it was 2009. I got a Nikon D3000, which I carried with me everywhere, and I loved it. Honestly, the picture quality was so good, and I was just so excited to take pictures of everything and anything. I remember my dad napping on the couch, and I was just like, you know what time it is? It's time for a photo shoot. So fast forward to high school. If you knew me in high school, let's just not talk about it. I'm a very different person now, so just let's not. We don't like to talk about it. Let me just. And yeah, from the moment I was 14, I knew I wanted to tattoo. My friends kind of saw like the tattoo designs that I was doing, and they were like, you should tattoo, you'd be really good at it. And I was like, oh, I don't know. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what, this is like what I really want to do. I never really grew up in a household that got tattooed, but yeah, I never really had exposure to anything like that. So yeah, my friends were kind of the group of people that like opened up my eyes to that in grade 9, and I was all for it. I thought the idea of like someone liking my art enough to get on them, or like trusting me with something permanent on their body, I'm like, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. But yeah, other than my friends, there were some people that weren't supportive in my life. So they kind of told me that I should go to animation school and become an animator, because I really liked anime and Disney. And the more they talked about it, the more I'm like, okay, I could see myself doing this. I could see myself enjoying this, because I consume a lot of media in that realm that like I love so much. So I attended Sheridan College for a year. I think it was 2016 or 2017. Oh my God, it's been a while. Ew. Okay, so yeah, 2016, 2017, I went to Sheridan College, and I took a course called Art Fundamentals. It's basically just a year-long course that teaches you like a lot of technical stuff, life drawing, which I've never tried before, and I also hated. But yeah, it basically sets you up to learn new things, but also kind of prepares you to like create a portfolio for animation. Because Sheridan College back in Ontario, Canada, it's like a huge school for animators. Walt Disney and companies that big look directly for students coming out of the animation program at Sheridan, because they've like been trained so well, taught so well. But yeah, I tried for 2 years to get into the animation program, and I was not accepted. They are very, very strict with marking portfolios, understandably so. It wasn't for me. As much as I love drawing and I loved learning new things, I found my art style is very much like tattoo designy. I don't know. I would draw a lot of tattoo designs opposed to making like storyboards or character designs and stuff like that. My brain doesn't really work like that. Like background layouts and all that, it's a very specific type of art that you need to be good at in order to excel in animation, I would say. And that's just not a style that I am good at. But yeah, even though I didn't get into animation, I knew it was for the best because I have always wanted to tattoo. I kind of knew deep down anyway. I was just doing it to please some people. And yeah, I'm still really thankful for doing it because it taught me a lot of skills, and I just kind of use those to further my tattoo portfolio. So after college, I became very determined to create a portfolio that I could show to tattoo studios that I could be proud of. Tattoo apprenticeships are generally unpaid, so I worked my butt off to save up enough money to be completely independent going into my apprenticeship. There were many late nights that turned into early mornings, hyper fixating on my portfolio, arranging and rearranging again and again, because I can never be satisfied, and I always feel like I can do it better. Once I was satisfied with my portfolio, I planned to go to NIX in Toronto, which is a national tattoo exhibition. I thought it would be a great way to talk to artists in the industry and approach potential shops I wanted to apprentice at. I had my sights set on Ruby Tattoo Studio, an all-female owned and operated shop located in Barrie, Ontario. I met and spoke to the owner at NIX, who I had an extremely positive interaction with, and I left the convention with a huge smile on my face. So next, I wanted to get advice on my portfolio and specifically being a tattoo apprentice. And I had the thought process, like maybe it would be useful to talk to the apprentice before me, which is actually my co-business partner, best friend, and co-artist here. But yeah, so we met up for coffee and I brought my portfolio and I asked for advice, and she gave me some good advice. I remember our first meeting was pretty awkward, but I'm such like a socially anxious person. But yeah, after coffee, she was like, hey, I have a dog. Do you want to come see my dog? So I was like, yeah, I love dogs. Let's go. And ever since then, we've been really, really good friends, best friends, and we own a business together now. So maybe if you find it intimidating to approach the whole shop or the shop owner or artist, maybe meeting up with the apprentice if the shop has one at the moment, and like one-on-one asking them for advice and like how they personally got like their foot in the door, maybe that would be less intimidating. Because I know I was really scared to like just show up at the shop to hang out, and there was like maybe six artists there, and it was all open concept, so like not knowing anyone and just sitting there. So I found finding a friend in Alex and then coming to hang out at the shop with Alex. It gave me a lot more confidence being around, and then I slowly kind of got to meet all the artists and ask for advice with them and get tattooed and stuff. So how Alex did it is she would go in and get tattooed like every week so that they would notice me. That's how she did it. So I feel like either one of those ways is a really good way to kind of get yourself noticed, or maybe like both of those ways together combined. You should keep in mind too that everyone's experience is going to be different. I have also made a video on how to put together your tattoo apprenticeship portfolio. I also wanted to private that one so bad because I feel like it was so cringy and I was just like so awkward at that point in front of the camera. I feel like I still am, but I'm getting used to it. I think my love for video editing and like being creative outweighs how much I hate being on camera, but I also want to help people. So here I am. But yeah, if you want to check out that video, it should be in my tattoo apprenticeship playlist. The main takeaway is just make it look nice and make it look like you actually cared and tried and put in effort. Like I've heard of stories of people like bringing in like loose leaf sketches, or like I heard that one person drew on napkins and brought in napkins to show their potential mentor. Like what are you doing? Don't draw napkins, like make it look nice. I also have videos on examples of how my portfolio has kind of looked like throughout the years and stuff, so you can check those out. But yeah, I officially started my apprenticeship on February 20th, 2020, pleasantly unaware with what was about to unfold in the next few months. The following month was the first lockdown that got implemented to help reduce the spread of COVID-19, and tattoo studios were always the first to be shut down despite our rigorous efforts to minimize exposure, along with our always present and strict cleaning protocols. I used the opportunity from being laid off work to really dive into my love for photography and videography. I had upgraded my Nikon D3000 for the Canon T5i a few years ago, which I have since. A few years ago, I was just talking about how I went to college in 2016, which was so long ago, and I think I had my T5i in college. I swear I did. So a few years ago is actually like probably 7 years ago, and I hate it. So more than a few years ago, I had upgraded to my Canon T5i, which I have since upgraded to my Canon EOS RP, my first mirrorless full frame camera that I love. But yeah, my T5i had such a special place in my heart, but I actually sold it to my tattoo mentor, who also is an amazing photographer. She actually took the cherry blossom pictures of me featured on my website, so I know it's gone to a good home and she'll take great care of it. So that makes it a little less sad and more special. So back in the studio again, after doing some sheets of fake skin practice, I did my first tattoo on myself December 15th, 2020, which was a ginkgo leaf. And next I did a few tattoos on my two mentors, co-artists, and then I started taking my first few clients, and my first 10 tattoos were completely free. In January of 2021, I made the trip out to BC where I would join my friends Alex and Brian in their van. Sir Reginald, rest in peace, my guy. Starting with exploring the seawall in Stanley Park to watching Alex wash her hair in a frozen stream in Kamloops, which is considered a normal van life shower. Ending with the oblivious trio of us driving through Summerland. I guess you would say quartet, including their bunny Twitch, which Brian has renamed to Tony, but it's not spelled T-O-N-Y, it's spelled P-T-O-U-G-H-N-E-I-G-H. Petoni. I knew when I boarded my plane home, I left a little part of myself in BC. And fast forward to August of 2022, we saw the opportunity to take over a lease of a local tattoo studio in Summerland, BC. Ever since my visit in January, I fell in love with the area. I love how there's so much nature and outdoorsy stuff to do, and I feel like for my mental health that would be really, really good. And I'm super excited to go camping and on adventures, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me, hopefully, most likely. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, ever since January, I knew I wanted to move back out here. I just didn't think it would be so soon. I was planning to move back out here in 2 or 3 years. But yeah, this perfect opportunity came up and we just couldn't say no. And yeah, maybe one day I'll show you our pros and cons list. Not everything on the list, but some of the funny parts. We all sat, the three of us, and made this really funny pros and cons list, and I literally took it home and I was staring at it because I was fighting internally for weeks whether I should do this or not. But I realized the only reason why I didn't want to do it was because of what other people would have thought about me or how I would inconvenience other people. And I'm a people pleaser, so I've always done things. I've lived my whole life for other people, and I was like, you know what? It's time to do something for me. And I'm really happy that I'm learning to set more boundaries and to do what I want to do, because that's important. And yeah, now we're finally in present day, and what a journey it has been to get here. I'm so internally grateful to be able to do what I love every day, to meet people, to just be self-employed, to do art. Yeah, it's hard some days because I'm still learning how to love myself and be kinder to myself. So the mental health part of it, which is just personal stuff, is hard, but I'm getting there and I'm learning. But yeah, a big part of why I've been a lot happier lately is just because I get to do this. So if you've gotten a tattoo from me, thank you so much for your support. It means everything because I can do what I love. So thank you.